Alright, welcome back to the Warlord Card Gamer, and today we're going to be doing the review of the cards that come in the Chosen/Mercenary deck in this APS 7. Alright, so as a quick review, remember that when you were, the idea of the 4th edition set was that you would buy one of every single box per set, and these are the 3 boxes, for example, from the Shattered Empires expansion. You'd buy one of every single box, and you would get 1 of every single rare, 2 of every single uncommon, and 3 of every single common. So the idea was roughly there would be 10 rares in every single deck. Supposedly, and for the most part that was true, each of the decks was playable right out of the box. Alright, so for the sake of posterity now, we're going to crack these open, and you are going to be able to decide whether or not, if you see this available for sale or not, if you want to purchase it, and or if you happen to have it in your collection, you can decide if you want to crack it, or if you want to sell it, or just hold on to it. Oh hey, I completely forgot to mention this, but stay tuned for a special surprise at the end of the video. Enjoy. So at some point, I'll be able to get into this. There we go. Alright, so we'll be doing the review now. So let's jump into these cards and figure out what comes in this deck. This is obviously the Queen Yahia deck. I really, really love the art on this card. I don't know if I've made a deck with her or not, but I think that the art is just really awesome. This is definitely one of the better ones that came out during the 4th edition arc, even though there's quite a few good ones. So she's a Mercenary, Warlord, Illusionist, Hag. Order twice per turn, target an opposing character within 2 ranks. The target must succeed with a magic save DC 14 or perform a melee strike against a target of your choice. So that goes really along the strategies, obviously, of an Illusionist. It's really cool because, you know, basically making an illusion, making your opponents attack each other and kill each other. Super useful, and especially for the lower level characters, which usually have very low skill. So yeah, so she's the main Warlord of this deck. And this is our first rare. This is the Flying Carpet. It's a steed. Order, spend the Flying Carpet, target up to 1 adjacent character, move both this wizard and any target forward or backward on rank. This is great for the wizards that are generally meant to be front rank wizards. There's a couple of them that come to mind. I don't remember what his name is, but these the Fire Wizard and the Nothrog Wizard from the 4th edition. We can put those up. But they definitely would benefit from this, especially if you have any mid-level cavalry going on in the deck as well. It's also a low-level card. Level 6 is pretty easy to equip. Second rare here, we've got Heart of Embers. It's unique, level 8 wizard item, so that's pretty high. React once per turn. After target character suffers exactly 1 wound from a spell cast by this wizard, target suffers 1 wound. That's pretty cool. I don't remember that at all. Yeah, anything that allows you to do more wounds when you're doing damage to an opponent is good. It's a shame that it's only when you're doing exactly 1 wound. If it had just been an additional wound, that obviously would have been a lot better. Also, for the fact that it's level 8 really hurts. If it had been level 7, that would make it a lot easier for wizards to equip. Alright, our third rare now, Shards. Action. It's an earth action. Spend order, perform a plus 15 range strike. If the target hits, the target may not have wounds reduced or removed until end of turn, including this strike. That's obviously really good against earth people. Those darn, well, the darn dwarves. Obviously, always removing those wounds, pain in the butt. But overall, unless you're fighting dwarves and or clerics, then that negating of wound is not incredible. It's a shame that it doesn't actually do an additional wound, because that plus 15 strike is pretty powerful. The fact that it's a spend order also really hurts. Venom Binds. This is also a really cool card. I feel like it's very underused. It's an earth action as well. It's the other rare. React. Before this wizard kills target opposing character, until end of turn, characters in the front rank of the target's formation gain the poison trait and suffer -2 attack and AC. If this wizard's a necromancer, you may put up to 2 level 1 characters from your discard pile into play. Remove the target from the game after it dies. There's a lot going on there. So, kill target opposing character until in turn everyone gets -2 AC and attack. They're all poisoned. Poison was a very underperforming thing. Since it was so new, there aren't enough cards that really affect that. So unfortunately, it's not a really good, I guess, strategy. The problem as well is that it was divided between the rogues and the wizards. So there's a lot of actions and some wizard actions from the two different classes. So it's hard to use them all to your advantage. There is the level 4 Fade Rowan. He's a wizard, rogue, and a necromancer. So that might be interesting. So this is a necromancer. You may put up to 2 level 1 characters from your discard pile into play. Remove the target from the game after death. So there's some removal going on as well. If you're playing another elf deck, that's great because obviously you're removing things that they can reanimate. And for you, obviously, really awesome to be able to reanimate some level 1 characters. Ooh, awesome. Okay, so this is weird. Again, this deck actually has the 2 different factions in it for whatever reason. I'm not sure what the division is in the factions, but chosen characters overall are not easy to come by, so this is relatively desirable if you are a chosen player. So Redu Tam is actually very desirable. I'm not a huge fan of him. Unfortunately, most of my decks don't play him. I did make a Narm Sin deck where it's Thrall support, but he's just slightly underpowered in my opinion. The fact that he only has that 1 hit point from the beginning, if he had had an extra hit point, that would have been amazing, obviously. But yeah, anyway, so he's a level 3 Thrall, just the chosen. He's got 12 AC, which is obviously super low, only 1 hit point, 2 attacks. But his ability here is react before Tam is killed as part of an action's payment. So basically, if you sacrifice him, if Tam does not have the Daemon trait, he is not killed, but the cost is considered paid, and he permanently gains +5 attack, -6 AC, +1 hit point, a Daemon, and planar traits. Remove all wounds from Tam. So that removing the wounds, if he had been a 2 hit point character, that would have been amazing. So basically, then he'd be a level 3 with 3 hit points, which would be awesome for the chosen. So it is a real shame, and removing the wounds, that would make it so that you would want to time it so that he's in the front rank with 1 hit point, or 1 wound rather. You'd then try to sacrifice him to be able to heal him and make him stronger. That would have been awesome, but the fact that he's only 1 hit point, that really hurts. Alright, so we get another chosen here. We got Mistress Sanai. I could have sworn she was from the original base set, but I guess not. She's from Essie, which is Shattered Empires. Yeah. Anyway, so she's chosen unique. React after a Thrall you control is killed as part of an action's payment. Put a charge on Sanai. And then she has Order twice per turn. Remove 3 charges. Ready target chosen. And then again, third ability is Order once per turn. Target non-Warlord character gains the Thrall trait. So there's a lot going on there as well. So she's kind of cool in the fact that if you have a deck that sacrifices a lot of Thralls, then you can use her to ready things. Unfortunately, those 3 charges is a lot. And you can use it twice per turn, but again, if that ability had been 2 charges, that would have been much more useful. But the fact that it's 3 makes it not nearly as usable as it could have been. She's also unique, so you really don't want to have too many of her in the deck because you don't want to draw 2 at the same time. And otherwise, she doesn't have any subclasses, so she's not incredibly useful. But again, I do have a deck designed with Narmsin and the Thralls and her. All right, we have another rare here now. Flayer of Dreams, chosen Daemon Planar unique. Spend order, kill up to 3 Thralls. Target all opposing characters in adjacent rank. Each target must succeed with a Fortitude save DC 13 plus the combined levels of the killed Thralls or suffer 1 wound. So that sounds powerful, but I mean generally when you're killing a Thrall, they're usually between 1st and 2nd level. Some Thralls, as we just saw, are level 3. There's even some level 4 ones. But let's just say like they're all level 2s. That means that it's a DC 19. And so you have to kill 3 of your own characters to suffer, or to possibly make opposing characters suffer 1 wound. It's just not really effective. And he himself isn't incredible. He doesn't really do anything special. I would much rather have a Gidraxos in my hand or in play than a Flayer of Dreams. So unfortunately, he's relatively underwhelming as well. Asa. This is a level 4 Demon Planar, another rare here. This is spend react once per turn after the chosen within 2 ranks declares an action whose payment includes killing a Thrall. Perform a melee strike that inflicts no wounds against an equal or lower level non-Warlord character. If the strike hits, that target gains a Thrall trait and is under your control for the duration of the action. So that's a lot of words, and what that basically means is if you hit an opponent's character that's level 4 or lower with that strike, you can now sacrifice it as part of an action that you were about to partake in. So if you need to sacrifice something, this is a great way to basically kill one of your opponent's characters outright. It's kind of a smaller version of the Daemon Lord itself, which does that, which is basically, sacrificing opponent's characters. The problem with this is that he's a level 4 character. He's only got 2 hit points, so you got to get him to the front rank somehow, ready to be able to use that ability, and that, again, is just underwhelming. I've never been able to pull it off. It's a great concept, it's just not easy to achieve. There we go, we got Sanga-Kish. So this is the other Warlord now. He's one of my favorites, as you all would know. Basically spells cast by Sanga, again, +2 DC and +2 to range strikes for each wound on him. So he gets stronger as he's more hurt. So the whole goal of using him is to have as many wounds as possible on him without him actually dying, because it just means that he's stronger and more deadly. And then he has the order once per turn, so he has an innate or an ability to do wounds to himself, and that ability allows you to go and search for spells. That's really awesome. So he's one of my favorite warlords. All right, so now on to the mercenaries. We've got Burrowing Basilisk, it's an uncommon. React once per turn after target character is hit by a melee strike by the Basilisk. Target suffers 1 wound the next time he spends or stuns this turn. So that's pretty cool, because again, that means that you can actually do 2 wounds with it. So we get 2 of those in there. Icy Surge. This is actually one of my favorite non-rare spells. It's unfortunate that it's water, because there are, if it had been air, for example, it would have been a little bit more powerful, but at the end of the day, it's still a really good spell because it gives you a lot of flexibility. You've got the order on there, which means it's basically free. You don't have to spend for it. Perform a +5 range strike. After the strike, the target must succeed with a magic save DC 12 or become spent. And then the spend order is just a more powerful version of that same thing. Perform a +8 range strike. After the strike, the target must succeed with a magic save DC 5 plus this wizard skill or become stunned. So that's super powerful if you can pull that off. Obviously, stunning an opposing warlord can generally mean game. Teleport object. Order target an item equipped to target character within 3 ranks. Succeed with a spellcraft check, DC 10 plus the item's level, +5 when targeting an opposing character to return the item to its owner's hand. So basically DC 15 plus the opposing level's item. So it's very situational in my opinion. I'm not sure why you would really need to return your own item. I'm sure there's an edge case somewhere around there. Uncertain Path, this was actually a rare in the past. It's an air action, 3 charges, spend order, attach this card to target character you control. While attached, the target gains the ability, order, remove a charge from Uncertain Path, move forward or backward on rank. So as I mentioned in previous videos, it's great. The issue with this is that it has a lot of time involved. Like you have to spend 4 orders just to be able to actually use it up, because you have to spend it, put it onto somebody, and then remove the 3 charges. Bribe, order, it's a classless level 3 action. Order, put a character into play from your hand, ignoring loyalty penalties. That makes sense of why that would be in this deck. If your warlord is a mercenary, you may reduce the target's entering rank by 1, and it may create an illegal rank if there is already at least 1 character in the entering rank. So, pretty useful. I know that there's a bunch of decks, like drag and drop decks might be playing this kind of thing. Dark Heart of Killian. This is also one of those cards that it's like, it's almost good enough, but it's slightly underwhelming. It's Scribe +3, which means that you can scribe a card to your character. So Scribe is a DC 20. You use the +3 plus the skill of the character. So in this case, Warlord has 10, so it'd be +13 to whatever you roll. You need to make a 20 or better. If you do, you can attach a spell to that Warlord, and then you can use that later on. Now the item actually has an order. Succeed with a Scribe check, DC 20 to attach a spell from your discard pile to this wizard, as if it had been successfully scribed. Otherwise, suffer a wound, remove Dark Heart from the game. So it's a shame if you fail, you take a wound and you have to remove the thing from the game regardless. If you succeed, that's pretty cool, because obviously then you get to reuse a spell that you already discarded. But overall, again, you have to roll a 7 or better or take a wound. It's kind of painful. Staff of Storage, weapon, 7 charges, remove, this is also rare in the past, order, remove X charges, attach a level X wizard spell to the staff, so it's basically like scribing, and then order, remove a charge, spend the staff, cast an attached spell, do not remove the spell from the staff unless that is part of its effect. So that's pretty cool, because you get to attach a spell and basically you can reuse it as many times as you want. The problem is that the higher level you attach a spell, the less times you get to reuse it. So I'm glad you don't have to spend the staff to attach something, but if you're attaching a level 5 spell, for example, then you only have 2 charges left to actually use a spell. So you get 1 extra one, but there's a lot going on in order to get that benefit. Gravity Rod, level 6 item. Order, spend Gravity Rod, target a character within 4 ranks. The target must succeed with a magic save DC 14 or count as an additional character for determining illegal ranks until end of turn. Characters may choose to fail the save. This is an Earth action. So this is interesting because that is obviously meant, I mean, it could be meant either way. You could either you could boost one of your own characters that you don't expect to die this turn and allow it to count as an extra character to hold ranks for you. Or you can try and target a character that's far away in your opponent's 2nd or 3rd rank, for example, and try to make them fall forward by making them heavier or count for two characters for the purposes of illegal ranks. So it's okay. The problem here, obviously, is that set DC really hurts it. That 14 DC is, A, it's pretty low, and B, there's no innate way to modify it, so it's like 14 plus your skill or 14 plus something. No, it's just 14. So Loki might, Loki automatically makes that a 16, but it's still a relatively low DC check. All right, we got Lilith. It's another chosen. Thrall. React once per turn after target character is hit by melee strike by Lilith. The target must succeed with a poison save, DC 12 plus 2 for each demon you control, or suffer a wound and become spent. Okay, it's not incredible, not super high DCs as well. I mean, how many demons could you have in play unless you're starting with lots of demons in play? And even then, I'm not a huge fan, so just underwhelming. We've got Nimra, the Chosen Daemon Planer, level 3 wizard. Spend order, target an equal or lower level opposing character within 2 ranks. Target must succeed. Target performs a melee strike base +3 against a target of your choice. So that's pretty cool. That's kind of like Illusionist, but again, it's a +3, and you're spending your character as well, so it's not huge. It's okay at the very beginning, so if that had been on a level 2 starter card, that'd be amazing. But as a level 3 character, not a huge fan. Shanta, amazing level 2 starter, if anyone has ever seen any of my cards, or any of my decks rather. The Chosen Thrall, medicine +2. The medicine is not incredibly useful, but this one is. The order, once per turn, target other non-Warlord Thrall gains +1 level until end of turn. So there's a lot of chosen abilities that are based off of the level of the sacrificed Thrall, as we saw with the Flayer of Dreams, which again, not huge. But in this one, by giving you that +1 level, for example, with Narm Sin, that's 1 extra charge in that first turn. So if you're super, super lucky, you can actually boost, you can make Narm Sin, I believe, go all 10 charges in 1 turn, which would be amazing. But yeah, so he's a great level 2 character. So we get 2 of those in here. All right, so we have a level 2 Daemon Planar as well. He has 2 hit points, which is important. May not start in play, unfortunately. There we go. You must spend the Chosen you control for Barracks to enter play from your hand. So that's a huge downside, unfortunately. Order, kill a Thrall, move forward 1 rank, or remove a wound from Barracks. There's just so many negatives here. Like, you're forced to not be able to start him in play, and you're forced to spend a Chosen in order to put him into play. So that's probably the reason why he doesn't see very much play as well. So we already saw Teleport Object. All right, we got Bogfiend, Mercenary level 2 Undead. React, after target character is hit with a melee strike by Bogfiend, spend the target. Cool, but again, you're level 2, you're rogue, you don't have any way of innately moving forward. So the opportunity of being able to do that, or the chances of you being able to do that, are pretty slim. He's only got 12 AC. Yeah, within the context of 4th edition, maybe. But outside of that, it's just underwhelming, unfortunately. Skelly Sycophant, so he's cool. Definitely a really good level 1 character, especially for any Daemon Lords. Skelly Sycophant, he's a level 1 rogue mercenary. Monster, Sycophant gains +1 hit point while a level 4 or higher dragon is in play. Sycophant gains +2 attack, AC, and skill while a treasure card is in play. So it doesn't matter where those are, so if it's your opponent or your own. So that's actually pretty interesting. He's not only great for Dragon Lords, he's also great for the level 5 dragon. I don't remember what his name is right now off the top of my head. But there is one Warlord dragon, so he's obviously the chosen, or the best starter for that deck, because it's awesome. He's basically just a stronger Brine Fiend. And we get 2 of them in here. Twisted Hyenas, level 1 mercenary monster, may not equip items. Not that you're generally equipping items to a level 1 character, but anyway. Spend order, target character within 1 rank must succeed with a fear save, DC 13 or become spent. Why? Like, you don't gain anything from that. If it was inflict a wound on it, great. If that was an order, that'd be amazing. But as a spend order, that's ridiculous, because obviously you prefer to kill them. I mean, if it was a spend order and DC was like a 17 or 18, where you might actually get something that's beefy to spend, where you might not be able to kill it, but you want to, slow it down, that makes sense as well. But you're never going to do that. It just doesn't make any sense. So that's a shame. Like, it's okay. It's just a generic, basically level 1 mercenary character. All right, so we have a chosen Thrall here again, level 1 rogue. The stats are pretty basic, and it has the react. Before the giving is killed by a character you control, target an adjacent to chosen. Until end of turn, the target gains +4 attack while performing a melee strike against a spent character. Again, underwhelming, unfortunately. If you add, you're putting +4 attack to, unless it's your Warlord that's in the front rank, you're adding that +4 attack to one particular melee strike. And not only that, by using that ability, you have to use it. You only get that if you're killing it yourself, so voluntarily. You're now giving the initiative to your opponent, because now you have one order. You do one order, you do that. The next order is them doing something. They're almost always going to target whoever you just gave that bonus to. So again, probably a card that doesn't see that much play, unfortunately. It's supposed to be like a backstab, which is a great level 3 action. But anyway, so this is a level 2. We've got Shirti, the chosen Thrall. He's a wizard. Spend react. After a Thrall is killed by a character you control, creating an illegal 2nd rank. Before fixing the illegal rank, move target Thrall in this rank forward 1 rank. So if you've got 2 level 1 characters and 2 level 2 characters, and if you voluntarily kill one of the level 1 characters, you can spend react to move forward. I hate to have to say it again, but it's underwhelming. Like, you're literally doing the same thing as if you were just falling forward. If you have a really good, move target Thrall in this range. Yeah, so you can't even move something strong. Like, you can move a level 3 or level 4 Thrall that happens to be in the 2nd rank when this happens. So so it's super situational. If it had been move the chosen, at least that could have meant that if your Warlord's in the 2nd rank and that happens, then you can move your Warlord forward with him, and that would have been awesome. But the fact that it has to be a Thrall, it just not great. All right, so we have a level 1 chosen here, Thrall again. Forest People, it's a class list, which is pretty rare. React, up to 4 times per turn after a character you control is killed, the Forest People gains +1 level until end of turn. So I do like the concept there. That is actually pretty awesome. Again, because there's certain, particularly like Narmsin, there's certain characters that do care about how many levels, even, who did I just do? What was the name of the Warlord I just did?
Atiratu.
Thank you, Matt. This is also useful for Atiratu, just because after a character you control is killed, so doesn't have to be your character, doesn't have to be something that you killed voluntarily. It's whenever any character dies, he gains +1 level until end of turn. So for Atiratu, that kind of matters, because again, if it's a level 3, then now you can look for a level 6 Daemon. The problem with it, obviously, is that as that goes up, he now has a bigger and bigger and bigger target on his face. So unfortunately, with 12 AC, he's not going to see more than maybe a 2nd level boost. And unfortunately, again, if you only have one of them, it's just an easy target. He's going to be gone pretty quickly. All right, Aman Dilettante. This is funny because Dilettante is supposed to be a Deveranian last name. I don't know what the story would be behind this card, but anyway, so it's a level 1 cleric, the chosen. Amand gets +3 attack and AC while there is a daemon in this rank. This is obviously very Aztec in the art. Spend order, kill Amand, move a daemon you control, forward 1 rank. Unfortunately, none of the Warlords are daemons themselves, because that would be relatively cool, to be able to move your Warlord forward with this. You can start him, and then start, there are some demons you can start in the second rank. But again, you're killing one of your own characters, so that hurts just for movement. There is a case where you could use this, but it's just not very often, not very desirable. Viper Whip. This is a pretty cool comment, actually. It's a level 1 wizard spell. It's a spend order, but it says level 4 or higher wizards performing this action without spending. Spend order, or order, performing melee strike that may target an additional rank away. If the strike hits, spend the target before inflicting wounds. The strike does not gain any modifiers or effects from this wizard's items. So you have to have a relatively high attack in order to be able to do this, but it is pretty cool because, again, you get to, it's a way to spend opposing characters, and as a Warlord wizard, then this is basically it's an order, it's a free spell. Spending is always good. You get 3 of those in here. Winter Shadow. Level 2 wizard spell. Necromancers gain +2 levels for performing this action. React after target opposing lower level character enters play. The target may not attack or maneuver until end of turn. So, yes, there are multiple necromancers that could benefit from using this. It's situational because you have to have something that you really want to not move or maneuver, because it can still move. You can make it fall forward with legal ranks. You can still put a griffin or other steeds on it to be able to move it forward. Maneuvering is only the act of specifically spending to move forward or backwards. And it may not attack, but generally, if you're going to be putting, like, so if you're a Warlord that's a Necromancer, you're level 5, it means you can do this for up to level 7 characters. But generally, those characters, so if you're doing it for a level 5 opposing character that came into play, the chances of that character making it to the front rank in one order or one in that same turn are pretty slim. So I don't really see the benefit to this is, okay, so you're controlling a level 1 or level 2 character to avoid attacking. Yes, it's beneficial, but it's not super useful. I'd rather have a spell in my hand that can kill those characters. All right, we got Sunder, level 2 wizard spell. Order, target up to 2 items within 2 ranks. Target the characters that have them equipped. Succeed with a skill check, DC 6 plus twice the item's level to destroy the items. So you can destroy up to 2 items, but you don't have to. It's okay. If you know you're going to be playing some item-heavy decks, sure. Blood Price. This is pretty cool because this is actually the exact same thing as Sanga-Kish's ability on a card. So basically, any wizard can do it now. Order, this wizard suffers a wound. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck. You may choose a wizard spell and attach it to this wizard as if it had been successfully scribed. Shuffle your deck. Yeah, super useful. Green Dragon Essence, level 3 wizard item. Order, equip the essence to adjacent character regardless of class restrictions. And then it's order, destroy the essence, perform a +3 range strike that does not inflict wounds. If the strike hits, until end of turn, the target suffers -3 attack, AC, and skill, and may not maneuver. Again, wasting a card slot for something that isn't critical, it doesn't do any damage, doesn't kill anything, and it's super low, like it's a +3 range strike, and you have to be a wizard, which means that you probably don't have a lot of things that give you bonuses to that range strike. Unfortunately, it just doesn't seem to be an incredibly useful card. Castux, level 5 wizard item, familiar daemon +2 skill. Order, once per turn, inflict a wound on a character within 1 rank, perform a range strike with a bonus equal to the wounded character's level. Gain +2 if the character was a Thrall. Sure, it's not great because you're guaranteeing a wound on yourself to possibly wound your opposing character. I'm not a huge fan. 3 of these, and this is the last card now, finally, Mask of Command. It's a level 4 classless item, Charisma +3. Once per turn, spend the mask. This character may perform the Charisma feat an additional time this turn. So that's okay. If that had been a react, it would have been even better because at least you could have reacted to things. The fact that it's an order means that you have to proactively do it, and you lose tempo, unfortunately. So yeah, I don't know. I know that there is something out there where charisma is useful. I can't remember off the top of my head. But overall, in general, not the most useful card, I think. Anyway, so as a giveaway, I'd really like to find out which one of these cards would you like to have in your deck. Please leave a comment below which card you think is useful for your collection that you would like to have. 2 weeks after posting this video, we will pin somebody's comment down below, and you will be winning that card. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Take care.